Psychological safety. So, you have formed your team and you all feel empowered, or so you think. You go around the table and ask each individual member, just wanted to check. You feel empowered, right? And each one on your team nods her head in approval. And you leave that session with a warm, fuzzy feeling, thinking that everyone is doing great. What a mess. Psychological safety refers to a condition when each member of the team, regardless of what their tasks are, truly feel empowered to say those uncomfortable things that will send the meeting into disarray. Some people, by nature, will give you their opinion, regardless of whether their opinion was solicited. Others will never tell you their true feelings. It doesn't matter how often you ask. Let's go ahead and concentrate on the latter group. What is one to do? For starters, it's worthwhile to find out in which atmosphere each individual member feels comfortable. Maybe the conversation needs to take place outside of the group environment, like a restaurant or a cafe. Others might prefer to provide you with their feedback in writing. Don't laugh. I used to have an employee who would send me extremely frank emails, but he would never dare tell me such thoughts in person. Even if you are not in charge of the team, empowerment means you care enough about the success and make the effort to ensure that psychological safety is extended to everyone. A number of years ago, I was an attendee at a conference my employer at the time held. There were a number of interesting topics being discussed, and I have this uncanny habit of always having some sort of question. What can I say? I'm an inquisitive person. We had reached the end of the day, and our regional president was supposed to explain to us what we called back then our e-commerce strategy. Sounds quaint today, doesn't it? Well, he got up and started talking about a number of different things, but not about what we were there waiting for. Because I had opened my mouth the entire day, I thought I would keep my mouth shut for a change. After his speech, someone raised his hand and asked a question that sounded like, "Nag, nag, nag." And I thought I couldn't leave the last word to that guy. So I raised my hand and mentioned that we had heard a number of great presentations the whole day. But one thing was still not quite clear to me. Why were we here and what was our goal? You can probably guess that this regional president was not especially enthralled to get my question, and you could read it on his face. The conference was being held by our IT department, and so the regional president tried to redirect the question to the head of IT, who understood very well what I meant and lobbed the question back. There was a silence in the room, and then the regional president spit out some verbal gobbledygook just to get past the embarrassing moment, and there was silence again. It might have been for 30 seconds, but it seemed like it went on for hours. Thank goodness someone else asked some easy question to answer, and the excruciating ordeal was over. Or was it? As soon as we left the hall, and there had to have been about a good 250 people there, I was inundated with comments like, "Great question," and "You asked what everybody was thinking about." That moment ended up being a career changer for me. It was never part of my plan, and it could have been a complete disaster. What had the situation looked like if everyone had felt empowered? In reality, a number of people there did feel empowered. I saw it in the way that they did their work. They just didn't feel comfortable telling their employer he was wearing no clothes, especially telling him in front of 250 other people. Call me a risk taker. Psychological safety means you are able to allow the team members to show their empowerment in their own way. So take the time to find out what makes them tick